Clothing for Buddy Pough provided by Bill Owens Clothing. Bill Owens Clothing is a proud sponsor of the Buddy Pough Show.
All right, South Carolina State won the toss. We deferred that possession to the second half, so the Bulldogs will receive, Coach. And 20-3, a score puts you right back in this football game.
It would, and you know, at this point, what we really want to do is get it down and get it in on offense. We do get a better kickoff return this time. We've had some problems there a little bit, but Dominique Ellis doesn't. Elmore does a nice job of returning it. And then you see Massey doing what he can do there. He can not only run the football, but he catches the ball pretty good. We get a little naked play here, and Malcolm runs out and throws it to Richard Christie on the comeback route. And, you know, I'm feeling pretty good about what we're getting done here, but we end up getting stopped, and then, you know, they're back on offense. You see them run that rocket toss play, and you see all those guys getting cut. You see them cutting Courtney Ingram there, and then you see Courtney makes a nice play on the cut block here, but, you know, Pat Watson really makes a nice play. He gets out, and Pat's a defensive end that can run. He's almost like a linebacker-sized guy. Then they run this little play here again. Pat makes another play. He comes off the edge and sees it, and then he gets back underneath and makes a play. And you know, it really is a nice play by he. And Donovan Richards is involved also.
Coach, you got to feel good about the fact that that play, that last play, was resolved, an adjustment you made at halftime after they beat you on it in the first half.
It was, and this is the toughest part of maybe the whole game for us here, where we muffed the punt and give them another opportunity after we had gotten them out, you know, on a 3-and-out. So
there's David Irby on the tackle right there, and the Bulldog defense back out on the field. Nesbitt with the option again, taking it and doing what he does into the end zone. His third touchdown of the day. Josh Nesbitt as a quarterback, 16 carries, 130 yards rushing. He was only 1 of 6 in the passing department, only completed 1 pass all day.
Yeah, and then we back on offense here, and we give the ball to Ashton Jordan. They got a little blitz hit. I don't quite know exactly how we, even after I looked at it, I don't know how we going to block it, but you know, we end up getting hurt a little bit here. This is the only sack that we gave up the whole game. And Malcolm drops the ball. Ashton takes it and runs it, and then we punt the ball. And use Nick Belcher here. No, this is Blake Erickson here punting again. We're going to let Blake punt a time or two. He's a little bit off the tracks. We got to work on this a little bit, but you know, we'll see what we can get done with him next game.
Good field position once again for the Yellow Jackets. Here comes the option, and of course the pitch again, and David Irby on another tackle, a little late out of bounds. That resulted in a personal foul and a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, David kind of horse-collared him. Probably should have turned it loose and, you know, kind of pulled him down there, and then they end up getting the ball back in the end zone again.
Roddy Jones into the end zone, 15-yard run, 3-play, 44-yard drive, makes it 34-3. Georgia Tech at this point, but Ashton Jordan, we talk about him, Coach, and what he was able to do on Saturday.
Right, and Josh Harrison and Javard Nathan had a nice block over there, and then Javard gets another nice block, and here goes Ashton. He's down the field here. Looks like he's going to get in here. Richard Christie's trying to block for him, and you know, they hold his face mask where, you know, we get another little extra yard or two here.
55 yards on that run for Ashton Jordan. Ashton Jordan finished with 129 yards on the day on 18 carries, trying to get in here. I thought he got in on his dive play, but he didn't, so he'll come back on second down.
And I wanted him to score after he had that nice run, but, you know, at this point we were so close, I'm afraid of another handoff, so we let Malcolm just, you know, sneaking in, and he does, and then we come back and Blake makes the PAT to make it up and give us 10 points.
Blake gets off the point after touchdown, a 5-play, 80-yard drive for South Carolina State. It took 2 minutes and 25 seconds, 34-10 right now, Georgia Tech. We get the football back, and here's Ashton again trying to get outside. Good play this time by the Yellow Jacket defense.
Right, this is a 3rd and short here, and we really want to keep the ball here, so we go on 4th down, and of course, Ashton hits a stone wall, and I told him, I said, son, you just saved my life here by running around here making that play. We didn't block a soul, and he just kind of ran through people and made a first down, so it was a heck of a play by him. And then Malcolm hits Christie out here on the comeback route again, and you know, we seem to have a little success here. Then we end up punting again. And
Nick Belcher comes in to punt, and Coach does a pretty good job.
Well, at least he just went on and hit it, which was what we needed at that time. Now,
of course, he nice dropped it in the corner, but it's a 45-yard punt, and then we come back. Tevin Washington, their quarterback now for the Yellow Jackets, and tackled there by Marshall McFadden.
Right, we getting beat up pretty good here now, and You know, we ended up getting a stop here. Courtney Ingram and Pat Washington, a lot of those guys are out there, Donovan Richards. But, you know, at this point, we're just trying to hang on for dear life.
Big hit on the quarterback coming up in just a moment. Tevin Washington running the option for Georgia Tech. And, Coach, you have to be pleased from the standpoint of the team and how they did hang in even late in this football game.
Look, the one thing you can always bet is that our guys are going to play hard the whole time. And you see a lot of guys there getting around. That's David Urban. And look like Darius Drummond, one of our freshman kids, is involved in that play.
Tevin Washington able to go backside 10 yards for the score, 14-play, 80-yard drive for Georgia Tech. Made it 41-10, the final score on Saturday down in Atlanta. And taking a look at the tail of the tape, and you'd be surprised at just how close this game was from the standpoint of the stats. If you look at total plays, Coach, they ran 64 snaps. We ran 64 snaps. It's just the matter they were able to get a few in the end zone.
Well, they were. And, you know, that's the name of the game is how many you score. And, you know, Georgia Tech was more successful there. But, you know, you see some things within the whole scheme of things that give you hope. You know that we can get out and play, especially at our level. So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how well this team can play from this point in.
When you take from this football game, Coach, some roles you had to fill, one of the main roles everyone talks about, of course, Will Ford, the conference's all-time leading rusher, gone. I thought Ashton Jordan and Chris Massey and Chris Merrill did a very good job.
I thought all three guys ran the football well. We still got some work to do with, you know, some of the things they do without the football, some of the blocking for pass and some of the receiving stuff, because we think that we can use them in that regard also. But, you know, we do feel that those guys have done a nice job of filling in for the guys that have left.
One of the strengths on this team this year is the fact that you returned the offensive line intact, and it looked like they played together on Saturday.
They did. And Tristan Bellamy, who is going to be the backup to Sam Timothy at center, is a guy that we think will fit in there pretty soon. But, you know, yesterday was one of those kind of situations where we wanted to kind of use our experience, and Sam was a lot more experienced guy, so we played him more. But I think we'll eventually see a good bit more Tristan Bellamy at center.
All right, the State Farm Insurance drive of the game. We take you to the third quarter. South Carolina State goes off on a 5-play, 80-yard drive. Took 2 minutes and 25 seconds. The highlight of that play, of course, Ashton Jordan's 55-yard run, Coach. And you talk about respect. That's earning your respect against a pretty good football team.
I guarantee you, if he can run against this defense in these kinds of situations, then, you know, I think that he should be fine as we go through the remainder of our schedule.
The State Farm Insurance drive of the game, Ashton Jordan, the key run, Malcolm Long, the touchdown, and the point after touchdown. We'll take a break here on the Buddy Pough Show, and we'll tell you what's up next for your South Carolina State Bulldogs after this timeout.